Welcome back, Mavericks. My name is Ronnie Page.
And I'm Ronald King, and this is your Meadowdale News Show for December 2013. Wow, can you believe 2013 is coming to an end already? It doesn't feel like it's been a whole year since 2012 ended.
I know, right? But almost 365 days have gone by, and I have to say, a lot has happened this year. That's why Ian and Miguel have decided to highlight some big events that went on this year in their 2013 recap.
2013 is coming to an end. So, let's look over some of the big things that happened this year. On February 28th, Pope Benedict XVI officially resigned after his 7-year papacy. And, on March 13th, his successor, Pope Francis, became the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. Edward Snowden is now a fugitive of the United States of America for leaking information to the public concerning the NSA's program to collect data, such as internet usage, emails, text messages, and even location data from millions of phones around the world. And all of this is done in secrecy.
From the beginning of October to the 16th, the federal government had shut down. The two chambers of Congress could not agree to a federal budget because every proposal that was written would defund the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And the Democratic Party would not allow this, so since they could not meet to an agreement, 800,000 people had their jobs furloughed, and many people were required to go to work not knowing when their paycheck would come. Grand Theft Auto V, a video game developed by Rockstar Studios, was released in September this year. This video game has broken many records, such as being the highest revenue generated by any entertainment product in 24 hours.
And that is just the tip of the iceberg on what went on this year. What were your favorite moments of 2013?
Personally, one of my favorite moments was meeting all the great new staff we got at Meadowdale.
Yeah, like the new librarian, Mrs. Stewart.
Speaking of Miss Stewart, Jacob and Chelsea have gone out to tell us more about our new amazing librarian.
Hey Mavs, it's that time again to meet one of our new staff members here at Meadowdale. Let's go and meet our new librarian, Mrs. Stewart.
Hi, I'm Ann Stewart and I'm your new librarian, and I have taught for 20 years. I taught at Alderwood Middle School. I taught social studies for about 9 years there, and then I went to Edmonds Woodway and I taught English there for the last years before I came here.
Please tell us more about yourself.
I actually moved to Washington from Hawaii, so I used to live in Hawaii and I loved it there. I grew up in California, so I'm used to sunshine and beaches and things like that. So Washington's a little bit different than that, but there's still a lot of outdoor activities and things I can do with that. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I have 2 nephews and a niece, and I spend a lot of time with them when I can. And yeah, I love my extended family. I don't have my own family, so I spend a lot of time with them.
What are differences between Edmonds Woodway and Meadowdale?
So obviously I came here from Edmonds Woodway, and some of the big differences that I've noticed is obviously Edmonds Woodway is a lot bigger than Meadowdale, and so that's actually kind of nice. I like Meadowdale because it just seems more like of a community because people are more connected to one another. I like the library here at Meadowdale because it's more of a central location than the one at Edmonds Woodway. Even though I wasn't a librarian there, the one at Edmonds Woodway is kind of tucked away. I really like the people at Edmonds Woodway, and I like the students. Obviously, I was very connected with them, but I like it here because, you know, people just seem to be more supportive of one another, and it seems to be more of a, you know, a community. But obviously, it's hard for me to compare because Edmonds Woodway I taught, and here I'm the librarian. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to getting to know people even better as I'm here longer.
Thanks, Mrs. Stewart, for helping us get to know you better. Now, back to the studio, Mavs.
Isn't Miss Stewart fabulous?
Yeah, she is. Speaking of fabulous, I heard a Black Student Union is quite an amazing club, but don't take my word for it. Instead, let's hear what Nay has to say about BSU.
Hi, my name is Selena Devasai. I am a senior and I am secretary and treasurer of BSU.
What is BSU?
BSU stands for Black Student Union, and we pretty much just discuss local and national issues regarding different races.
Who can join?
BSU welcomes all races and cultural backgrounds.
Why you should join BSU?
People should come to BSU because the more knowledge our youth has about local and national issues, the better our society will become.
When does BSU meet?
We meet every other Friday at 2 o'clock in Mr. Graham's room in room 204.
Where can I get more information?
For more information, you can ask our president, Selena Solomon, our vice president, Fernand Talat, or myself.
See you at BSU!
Maybe I should swing by the Black Student Union myself.
You totes should, because BSU is one of the many great clubs that Meadowdale has to offer.
Definitely. Sadly, not everything can be perfect. We have been hearing multiple incidents of theft. That's why our SB president, Angela, has decided to deliver this PSA.
Go to the bathroom, set a phone down, leave, come back 10 minutes later, and the phone's gone. Theft, a growing problem experienced in public high schools. Music devices, cell phones, wallets, and other miscellaneous items are among the possessions reported stolen or lost. It's no doubt theft is bound to happen anywhere, but focusing on Meadowdale, we asked Principal Mr. Allen how theft affects the atmosphere at MHS.
Unfortunately, I think it creates a not very positive atmosphere when students are getting their items stolen and have to worry about that. And it's just a handful of students that really made an impact in that way that's been very negative, and it doesn't create a great atmosphere. And so I hope that people would take the courage or have the courage to report things when they see it.
We get items that are reported stolen 1 to 2 times a day, and then items that are returned are about 50% of the time.
Students are not the only ones dealing with theft, but teachers are victims of it as well.
The main problem we have is this of calculators. We use graphing calculators, which are about $100+, and people steal them. And it's very hard for teachers to track 30 calculators at a time. Second of all, students steal batteries. We are going to be phasing away from borrowing of calculators in classes to checking them out to students. That way students can have the technology, but teachers don't have to watch for theft that goes along the way.
I think it's really important to make sure that you secure your belongings all the time. Don't leave things lying around. Don't leave your locker unlocked in the locker room. That was one of the areas that seemed to get hit frequently.
With that said, we headed down to the gym and asked about stolen items.
I would say there's some upset kids that lose stuff, and deservingly they should be upset. We've never had a theft in the small lockers. They also have the option of putting their backpack and clothes and stuff in the coach's office. I think we're doing a better job of people being aware of where to put their valuables.
I think Meadowdale's a great place. It's a really outstanding school with 99% of our students helping to make it that way, and just a really small percentage of our kids making poor choices. So I hope that people would take the courage or have the courage to report things when they see it.
So Mavericks, it's not likely we're going to leave all of our belongings at home, but bring them at your own risk. If it's important to you, then don't leave it in a place where you won't remember it, and think twice about what you carry with you, because tracking all that is lost is very hard to do. Angela Nguyen reporting, Meadowdale Mav News.
You know, I'd be #heated if someone stole something from me.
Yeah, and the fact that it might be someone I know hurts even more.
Don't let this rain on your parade, or in this case, snow. Cheer up to this month's story time, presented by me, Nate, and Cammie.
Hey Mavs, it's story time! Today we have Mike and Jean-Paul to tell us some stories about snow. Here we go!
Story time! Those of you who don't know, this is Mike Barbie. Okay, so this is my snow story. When I was on my 13th birthday, there happened to be like a week of snow. Like there would be no snow all that month, but there just happened to be snow in that week. And my friend Matt had gotten me a snowboard for the occasion. So I had never snowboarded before, so I was like, hey, sweet, a snowboard. And anyway, there was this huge hill where I lived, and my friends kept daring me to go down it, but I didn't know how to snowboard. But I just kept thinking of those movies where the kid who doesn't know anything about it suddenly becomes really great at it. So I was like, okay, sweet, I'm going to do it. And after a bunch of goading from my friends, we get to the top of the hill, and I just start going down it. And at first I do really good. I'm just like, yeah, I'm a snowboarder. I'm going to be so pro. I'm going to be Shaun White. But then a rock decided it was in love with me, and I tripped. And I started like tumbling through the air, and it was like I was in slow motion, like... I could hear everyone around me going, Or at least I think that's what they were saying. I'm pretty sure they were laughing too. I don't know. But eventually I landed. I tumbled a few times, and then my friend said I looked like a carrot sticking up out of the snow. And all I saw was white. And I had to like get a bucket of hot water dumped on me just to get all the snow out of my face. So yeah, that sucked. That's my story.
Hey guys, my name is Jean-Paul Smith, and it's story time! My story goes back to 2008 when I used to live at Linwood House. It was a dark night. It was snowing, like really snowing. And my mom is like, hey, John Paul, go out there, and if you go topless in your underwear, I'll pay you $5 if you stay outside for 10 seconds. And I'm like, oh man, it's going to be pretty cool, getting $5. And so I decided to go out in my underwear, on the porch, in the snow. 10 seconds passed, I tried to go back in. Turns out, my mom locked the door on me. And believe me, a minute may not sound that long, but I was left outside in snowing in my underwear for a minute. And when I came back inside, I was so mad at my mom. But I knew that she did it because she loved me, My mom has always been a prankster.
Thank you, Mike and John Paul, for those great snow stories. Keep an eye out for the sign-out sheet outside of E202B, and find Ronnie or I if you ever want a chance on Storytime. See you later, Mavs.
Those are some snow-tacular stories. Now don't forget, everyone, you can sign up to be in next month's Storytime right outside E202B, so you can tell us your super cool stories.
Speaking of storytelling, here we have Amanda and Nathan with their global piece.
Meadowdale is part of the global community. Now, what does that mean? It means we can make a difference. We are connected to people all over the world. By learning about these people, the 1,550 of us are making a difference. Every month, we've shown you a piece from around the world. These pieces were made by teens just like us. Our generation has access to all sorts of resources. By helping one another, our generation has the potential to change the world. We can bring people together. All we have to do is listen.
That was it for our final news show of 2013.
I hope y'all have a great winter break.
Have lots of fun, but don't forget to be safe. Now see you guys next year, and
Deuces.
Deuces.